One of the articles I found gave 8 really good tips on how to negotiate prices while shopping in Hong Kong. The first tip is to start out with a lower price, between 20 and 50% of the ticketed price. The second tip is to know the product you're trying to buy, especially if it's a non-local item, so that you know the rough price that it sells back at home. By knowing the actual price, you are less likely to be ripped off and more likely to get a good deal. The third tip is to not believe what the seller is telling you, because they will say anything to just make the sale. Do not be afraid to walk away is the fourth tip. If you are unable to make an arrangement with the seller, state your final price and walk away. More often than not, the seller will call you back and meet you at your price. The fifth tip is to not accept tea from a seller, because they are just trying to be nice to keep the prices high for you. The sixth tip is to pay in local currency, because shop owners will try to rip you off with the exchange rate. Dressing down is tip number 7, because wearing fancy designer clothes reads rich to the store owners, who will try to take advantage of you. And finally, tip number 8 is to not bargain in malls, because major retailers' prices are already set. In smaller, one-of-a-kind stores, you may be able to negotiate a 15 to 20% discount. The other article that I found discussed how negotiation skills vary between men and women. It found that men do more haggling because they tend to be more aggressive, and women tend to be more shy. Other tips suggested in this article is to not feel guilty about negotiating, because the shop vendor won't sell you the item if they will actually lose money on it. By not showing over-enthusiasm for an item, you are more likely to get a good deal. And finally, try not to say, "I have to have this," or "I absolutely need this" within earshot of the vendor. To them, that's a signal that they can rip you off.